Hey, what's up, ISM family? We are welcoming you to episode 2 of the ISM Show. We are super excited to have you guys here. On this episode, we are going to be interviewing the amazing Kaitlyn Haffener, talking to her about how she's kind of owning her youth ministry right now and publishing her faith. And later in the episode, we're also going to be doing an interview with Billy and Katy Willis, our newest Youth Alive missionaries, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic to have them on the show. We're super excited about it, and we are excited to have you with us for this next installment of the ISM Show. Let's roll it. So, hey, welcome everybody. We just wanted to start off this conversation by talking about something that I've been noticing on social media. It just gets me to laugh every single time, and that's when dads absolutely own their children, their tiny children at sports. Boom. Right? Like, have you That's right. So, like, have you guys ever seen, like, these dads out there? They're like 6 foot, 7 foot dads, you know, and they've got this 3 foot, 4 foot child that's driving to the rim, playing basketball, having a little fun in the yard, and the dad just rejects the soul.
Have I seen it? That was me.
You lived that with Paul?
Yeah.
Paul wouldn't let you win.
No.
You grew up in that house.
Yeah. It was absolute obliteration every single time.
Okay.
Race to the car. He beats me by, like, however, I don't even know.
Did you cry?
No.
You didn't cry? So you didn't show any weakness?
Well, like, if I ever cried, it was you better stop crying. I'll give you something to cry about. So, okay.
So he beats you, then he threatens you.
That's good. I think that I'm that kind of dad too. Like I absolutely am, because you know just this last weekend, my kids were out on the back deck and they were playing bags. And Chloe's like, "Dad, you want to come and play? We've been playing a couple of rounds and stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, absolutely." I'm a little rusty. Let me just see. And so I go out there, and Chloe scores the first 2 points. And like any child of mine, any child that is raised in my house, she starts talking a little bit of trash, and then I do not let her score again. I beat her 21-2. She scores the first 2 points.
Heck yeah.
And then I'm just like, all right, it's time to go to school. It's time to go to the
You about to learn the day.
And so like I don't let my kids win really at anything.
Okay, so, like, with that, though, there's a lot of people who say, like, camp is rigged. So you saying, like, you're a dad who, like, you're like, yeah, I'm all about winning. Like, my kids never win. But your kid seems to win camp every year. The last
every year?
3 years, it seems like.
Okay, first of all, my kid's 14, so he has
Hey.
been going to camp for a very long time. Yeah, no, so I guess that's a fair question, Josh. Is camp rigged? No, it's I would say that it's not, because I don't let my kids win at anything, really. And it's really funny that there's always this conspiracy theory out there that camp is rigged, and it always escalates when the child of, like, the district youth director is on the winning team. Have you ever felt that, though? Like,
yeah, like, I didn't win a lot because, like, I know I asked the question, but, like, I don't think it's rigged at all either, because, like, my dad, when he was DOAD, he could literally he couldn't care less who won.
Right.
And so, like, this is, like, all the team, like, trying to win. And, like, yeah, we won a few times, but we didn't win more than I did win, if that makes sense.
Well, 100%. And like, I think what you need to know is, like, there's so much going on at camp. There's so many things that are happening behind the scenes. You're managing your staff. You're managing your counselor. You're making sure that the security's tight. You're making sure that your students are tight. You're getting 3 hours of sleep. You know what I'm not doing when I wake up after 3 hours of sleep?
How can we hope the purple team wins?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, I don't care. I want people to have an incredible, fun, safe experience at camp where they're getting closer to Jesus. But I will say this, but, like, if my child is on a team, I am the last guy on the planet that is padding that team to let them win, right? Yeah. If they lose, they lose. If they win, that's great. I'm glad my kids are happy, but I'm not, like, fighting for it. Mm-hmm. Let's just talk about something really quickly here. And I know where this is coming from. It's just like the last couple of years, this purple team stigma. Everybody's like off of the purple team
dynasty
train, right? There's like this purple team dynasty that's happening right now.
We were both on for the first year, by the way. We were both on that team that won.
Okay, that team that won was one of the most dominant teams ever at camp. And this is what makes me laugh so hard. That year that you guys were on, that first purple team, you guys came in first place. The team that came in second place, you guys doubled their points from first to second place.
That's what we do.
And people were still like, rigged.
Okay, Josh.
Camp's rigged. See? It's rigged. Like, no, listen. You guys scored so many points at camp that year that we would have to have a really concentrated effort to rig camp. Like, there's no rigging that kind of beatdown, right? Yeah. Like, you guys won everything, guys and girls. You came in first and second in the activities director's dream. I think the mega relay that year, you finished like 6 minutes ahead.
Wait, we were done before anyone was even coming up to like the last few obstacles.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it wasn't even a competition.
That was crazy. And so after that year, like I even remember having conversations with Billy Willis, like, okay, we really have to make sure, that there isn't anything there. And if you guys know Billy and Katy, they don't take anything more seriously than how they keep score of camp. Like nothing is more sacred to them at camp, other than the Holy Spirit and Jesus, than keeping the scores fair. Like it's so fair. It's like there's such an incredible process that our activities directors have put into place, and so that just makes me mad. But like there's been dynasties at camp through the years. Like
Billy's had his own dynasty.
Billy has had his own dynasty. So like before Billy's dynasty, there was the black team with James. Remember that?
Yeah.
They were like the most intimidating team. Everybody wanted to be on the black team. It seemed like they won every single year. And then Billy with his red team, Billy and Stephen Magoo with their red team, they won for like 2 or 3 years in a row. And then we had this season where there was a super dominant green team, right?
Yeah.
And the green team was so good. And the green team is still really good. The green team can still show up at camp and win, right? And win the whole thing. They're like the New England Patriots of camp. Like they're never really out of the equation. And then you had this purple team. And this purple team, what set the purple team apart wasn't how good they were, but how obnoxious they were about it.
100%.
Everything was a cheer.
Everything was a cheer, but all the kids on the purple team were having such a great time. I really feel like the next dynasty at camp, though, is the orange team. The orange team really impressed me this last year at camp, but they were just a little bit lacking in the counselor showdown. Sorry, Gary. We love you, though, right? We still love you, man. Did I just pull a scab there? No, I think the orange team is really going to come on strong. I think they're probably going to be the next camp dynasty. But no, camp isn't camp isn't rigged. But I always love it because every year after one of these teams wins, there's always that group of students. And it's always the kids on the second and third place team, right? Yeah. Like, oh, why didn't we win? Oh, it's because it's rigged. It's like, it couldn't possibly be your fault.
It's not right?
Us. It couldn't possibly be that your team just didn't do as good as the team that beat you, right? The only reason that you could have possibly lost is because everybody at camp is against your in particular team.
Yeah.
It's just funny. So, like, is camp fair? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Is camp rigged? No, it isn't. It isn't. Camp isn't fair, and camp being rigged are two totally different things.
Yeah.
Like, camp isn't fair, no, but we're not, like, trying to intentionally make it unfair so that your team, like, loses, right? Yeah. I think the reason your team is losing, it's for two reasons. One, you're not scoring as many points as the other team. Well, that's obvious. Or two, you're the yellow team. Yeah. So, anyways. Woo! Oh, man. And that's all respect to Buddy Barrel, who represents the yellow team so well. Buddy. We love you, buddy. That's not a diss to you. You can't do good in all things. You're great at missions. You're just not that great at camp, right? Yeah. So, hey, anyways, what we wanted to do is we wanted to take a minute to transition into our next segment here. Students all over Illinois have been going online and publishing their faith, and I just think it's been so incredible. Have you guys been seeing any of this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Like, okay, so, like, give me an example. Who have you guys seen that's just been kind of, like, blowing you away right now? Who's been publishing their faith and just really been, like, knocking it out of the park? That's kind of a no-look pass, but who have you been noticing?
At the beginning, I noticed Tyler Morris. He kept up with doing a live stream, and he was the guy that, in inspired me to keep going and doing my own live stream.
Awesome.
And I've definitely seen Kaitlyn Haffener do
Yeah.
quite a bit of stuff as well.
Kaitlyn's been just knocking it out of the park, right?
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Like every single week, she's just been giving these incredible testimonies, and she's just been giving these just incredible she's just been delivering these incredible moments of inspiration. And so I thought, man, you know what would be really cool is if we could get Kaitlyn Haffener on the ISM show and just talk to her about why she's doing what she's doing. And students, here's the deal: we really believe that it's important for you to hear from your peers, right? It's easy for a leader to like come to you and say, you guys need to be publishing your faith, and here's why. And like you take that with maybe a grain of salt sometimes because it's your leader telling you to do the things that they're supposed to be telling you to do, right? But when you have another student, when you have somebody that's in your age that can relate to you guys, that understands the pressure, that understands the struggles, that even has to overcome some of the same fears that you have to overcome when it comes to like publishing your faith and putting your faith out there for the whole world to see. Like, I think it's so powerful for you guys to hear from students your age. And so that's why we did this interview. So without further ado, let's just skip to the interview with the amazing Kaitlyn Haffener and what she's doing to publish her faith. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our next portion of the ISM Show. With me today, I have the amazing Kaitlyn Haffener, and she's one of our incredible Illinois Student Ministry students, and I know that she's doing some pretty amazing things for the kingdom of God. And so we're just going to be talking a little bit to her about what she's doing during quarantine and what she's also doing to publish her faith right now. So, Kaitlyn, really quickly, one of the first questions that I would have for you is how are you staying sane during quarantine?
Oh, wow, that's hard. I would say there's a lot of YouTube and eating involved in that. Plus scrolling through TikTok and making TikToks. So that's a large part of it. But other than that, I'm kind of going insane.
Yeah. I think all of us are. Like, I am totally eating all of the snacks in our house right now. And like everybody jokes about the freshman 15, and we are all getting the COVID-19 right now. And I'm getting a little extra fluffy for sure. So this is probably, I know you're a PK, and I know you have siblings in the house. So we all want to know really quickly, who's the most annoying person in the house during quarantine right now?
Oh my gosh. They're all annoying for different reasons.
Are you annoying too?
Yeah, I'm annoying.
You're a perfect angel, or are you annoying everybody?
Oh, I'm so annoying.
All right,
all
Pastor James. Okay,
yeah.
So we'll verify with mom and dad if that's true or not. But hey, here's the thing. Like, you have been going to ISM events for quite a while now. I'm pretty sure that a lot of students in Illinois Student Ministries, as they're even watching this, probably recognize you. Maybe they don't know a whole lot about you. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from? How old are you? Where are you going to school? Like, just give us like the normal details.
Okay, so I moved to Illinois about 5 years ago, and my dad got a job at a church in Bloomington, Illinois, and it's a really small church, but we've been growing, like just pursuing God and the plan that He has for our lives. And from moving to Illinois, I've made lots of friends, both from school and from just events that ISM hosts. I go to Bloomington High School, and I was really cool because last year for Momentum, I got to invite some of my friends from school to come with me to Momentum, and they got saved. And that was just such an awesome experience to be able to like share that with them and for God's glory. It's super awesome.
Yeah, that is super awesome. So you were just mentioning Momentum. Is that your favorite ISM event, or are you more camp, or where do you land?
I would say I probably like camp a little bit more, just because, I like working kitchen patrol at camp, which is weird, because I don't know, there's something about being able to both serve and share that experience where you're being around your friends, and having that camp experience with the service. It's super fun, and I've gotten the most out of working at kitchen patrol than anything else. Like, I don't know why, it's super amazing.
Yeah, that's really fun. And you want to know what's really cool about KP is that you guys really do form your kind of own little community in there, and you you really develop some pretty cool lifelong friendships. So that's really fun. So camp, you heard it from Kaitlyn, is her very favorite event. I think it's mine too, just because it lasts the longest and I get to be with all of our amazing leaders and for just, a couple of weeks back to back. And that's always a really good time for me. So really quickly, one of the things that I noticed you said is that you had a couple of friends that came with you to Momentum and they were able to give their lives to Jesus Christ. Like, what did it look like before Momentum? How did you invite your friends? Because this is really important to me, because we have a lot of students out there that are just spectators in their youth ministries. But what I've noticed about you is that you are a participant. You are incredibly involved. Youth ministry isn't something that you go to. Youth ministry is something that you are. You're a youth pastor already where you're at. Like, you are ministering to your friends. I see you online. You're spreading the gospel all of the time. You're not waiting for somebody to give you permission to tell people about Jesus. You're like, I'm going to do this right here, and I'm going to do this right now. So, like, can you tell us a little bit about what motivates that? And like, then carry us through, like, how did you invite your friends to Momentum, and how are they doing today?
Okay, so I used to really struggle with fear in my life. And there's a few things that got me through that. One of the things was, it was 3 or 4 years ago at Momentum. I was in a really rough place in my own life, and I was just kind of completely turned from God. And he caught my attention there, and he made me realize that all around me there are friends that I have, and they're just sitting there, and I'm sitting here doing nothing. I wasn't doing anything to share the gospel. And every second, like in a snap of the fingers, that's somebody dying and going to hell. And if I'm sitting here seeing all my friends around me that I love and care about so much, and I'm not doing anything, then what type of friend am I? And so that's kind of what pushed me over the edge, but still I was struggling with fear. One day I was reading my Bible, and 1 John 4:18 came up, and it says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out all fear." And I really took that verse to heart. It's one of my favorite verses, and that's what's been motivating me. And yeah, I still struggle with fear all the time, but I just remember that, and I remember how much love motivates and how important that is. And so when I was inviting people to Momentum, like, some of the times it was easy with the people I talked to more, but the people that actually came kind of surprised me because I didn't know them well at all. My dad is also one of the coaches at the football team at Bloomington High School. And he wants to be able to minister, but there's guidelines and rules because he's an employee of the school.
Yep.
And so I didn't really know the two of his football players that ended up coming, but I invited them anyway. And I was so surprised when they decided to come, because they weren't Christians at all. Opposite of what you'd expect. There's these really tough dudes who don't want to show any emotions or just stand alone. I do everything myself type of guys. And they came to Momentum together because they don't want to come by themselves. And so when they came, it was so awesome because God met them and they turned their lives around. And by the end of the week, they were both smiling, and they never did that before. And it was awesome. When we were leaving, we went to McDonald's, and we were sitting in the car, and one of them rolled down his window and yelled at a guy walking past. He said, "Hey, sir, do you know that Jesus loves you, man?" And the guy just looked at him weird. It was so awesome.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. Man, and that's such an incredible story. And I think students get so nervous sometimes about sharing their faith or inviting people to church. And I think it's because we're so busy counting the cost, and one of the things that I've told our students in Illinois is, maybe we need to stop thinking about what it's going to cost us if we tell people about Jesus, and we need to start thinking about what it's going to cost them if we don't. And I love the fact that you're not thinking about what it's going to cost you. You're thinking about what it's going to cost them. And because of that, you're able to overcome your fear. The fear of losing your friends to an eternity in hell is overpowering maybe the fear of being awkward, or the fear of not being liked, or the fear of sharing your faith. And I respect that so much about you. You're doing just a phenomenal job. And I know Christina and I are so proud of you. We've been watching you from a distance, and we're like, man, that girl has got it. And we're just so excited for everything that you're doing to not only serve your local church and serve your high school, but also just kind of be a bright shining light in Illinois Student Ministries. So one of the things that we've been seeing you do a lot during quarantine is publishing your faith online. Like you've just been telling so many people about Jesus. And, why are you doing that right now? Because it's like all these kids have been shut down. Like all these youth ministries across the state have been shut down. So what's motivating you to kind of be the youth ministry online right now?
So our generation is really media focused, and that is one thing that it's always been. And before quarantine, we've always used an excuse of having busy lives to not share our faith. But now that we're locked away, we actually have more of an opportunity to do it because everybody's at home on their phones 24/7. And so since we have this time, that means more people are going to have access to hearing the word of God. I was looking at this chart the other day, and it was showing that since quarantine has started, there has been more people giving their lives to Christ just because of seeing sermons or people sharing their faith online. And that was like super inspiring to me. I'm like, I'm sitting here watching Netflix all day. I might as well do something creative. I might as well do something that is going to teach people the gospel and give them a glimpse of the hope that I have.
That's amazing. And I love that take because, like, seriously, and this is one thing that I want to say to you students, it's really common for people that are my age, that are really close to 40 years old, to like be like, man, if I had a time machine, I would go back in time and I would invest in Microsoft. I would invest in Apple. I would invest in Amazon because I would be so wealthy right now. And essentially that sentiment is coming from, I wish I knew then what I knew now. And I think in a year from now or 2 years from now, you're going to see a major revival taking place in the church because of this season that we're in right now. And it's basically just like what you're saying. There's so many people that are online. I hope a year from now or 2 years from now, you're not looking at everything that Jesus is doing in his church. And I hope you have the ability to say, I was in on that. That's a result of me laying down my fear and publishing my faith and making sure that my voice was heard. Like I hope you don't have to say in a year or two from now, man, I wish I could get in a time machine and go back to quarantine. Like, who's going to say that, right? And publish my faith. Kaitlyn, we're so proud of you. We think you're doing just an incredible job. Real quick, just to end this interview, what is your go-to quarantine snack?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. It's all about the ice cream. Are mom and dad keeping enough ice cream in the house?
They've been getting it pretty often. I was kind of surprised.
Well, that's pretty good. Listen, I could use some ice cream in my life too. Hey, thank you so much. What an amazing interview. You did such a great job. And we hope that you just keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much, Kaitlyn. We really love you. We really appreciate you. As I just have one thing to say after that interview, and it's just this. Guys, I think let's go, Kaitlyn Haffener.
Yeah.
Just absolutely knocking it out of the park for publishing your faith. That's absolutely incredible. I mean, don't you guys think so? That's it. Like, that's what we want for. I think that sets a high. But also an attainable standard. Like, our students can do that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I really love what she said about overcoming her fear too. I think that's something all of us can relate to when it comes to publishing your faith.
Yeah, definitely. Did you see that she actually posted on Facebook the other day about someone commenting on one of her posts, calling her a Jesus freak?
Yeah.
And she just said, she said, thanks.
Yeah.
It's great. Like, yeah, I take that as a compliment. And
that's no problem at all.
And the guy replied back saying, no, I wasn't meaning that as a compliment. I was meaning that as an insult. You shouldn't take that as a compliment. And she's like, oh, I took it as a compliment.
I already did.
How dare you not take that as an insult? How dare you, sir?
You aren't mad at me? What the heck is wrong with you?
And I mean, there's so many students, though, right? Like, when they're trying to reach their schools, I think they really do have to overcome that fear, because there's people out there that are just like that are just going to be like, hey, Jesus freak. Like, it's just like, wow. savage burn, man. Like that's but like we need to love them anyway. And she like responded to that in love. She's like, thanks, that's amazing. I really appreciate that. And I just think that's absolutely incredible. And so like the next interview that we have is going to kind of focus on that just a little bit, because at Illinois Student Ministries, we want to equip you guys to be able to reach your schools with the love of Jesus Christ. We want to put resources and tools in your pocket so you feel more comfortable, so you have the ability to overcome your fear. And that's why I'm really excited about this next interview. And if you guys missed the announcement with Illinois Student Ministries, we just announced that Billy and Katy Willis are moving into a full-time Youth Alive position in Illinois Student Ministries. And we're going to let the interview do most of the talking about what that means specifically for you. But trust me, it is going to be a huge resource for each and every single one of you, especially when it comes to reaching your schools. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, me too. So roll it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am here with Billy and Katy Willis. They are our guests on the ISM Show, and it is so good to see you guys. We love you so much. And, right off the bat, our students probably recognize you guys the most from camp, because you guys usually play the part of activities directors, and you absolutely crush it at camp. And I think the question everybody really wants to know is, how much exactly did the Purple Team pay you guys in order to win camp these last couple of years? Is it a lot of money, or is it just a shoulder rub by Jake Weisman?
Man, I'm just going to tell you, money talks and shoulders talk, shoulder rubs talk. I'm a big physical touch guy. And, Jake's a good looking guy, so that doesn't hurt.
This just got incredibly awkward, family, but that's okay. So team captains, you heard it here first. Bring your money and bring some strong hands, and you too could win camp. Unless you're the yellow team, then there's probably still no chance for you. But here's the deal. Like, you guys, you take that super seriously, don't you? Like the point system at camp. Like, I know that I have no say in it, and nobody else at camp really has a say in it. You guys just keep that thing on lockdown, especially this last year, right? It was one of the closest camps I think we've ever had.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, we try to keep things fair, and we believe in integrity, so we want it to have integrity.
Absolutely.
The purple team just dominated. They've just done so well.
Don't feed the ego. Don't see, now Jake and Ethan are going to be watching this, and they're just going to be like, yeah, we dominated, so orange.
Nobody rubs the shoulders
us out of our misery. What?
I said nobody rubs shoulders like Jake Weisman. He's the best.
Well, it's his Army career. I mean, just strong hands. Anyways, guys, Billy and Katy Willis I don't know if you've heard this yet, but they have actually just launched out on this brand new adventure. Billy and Katy Willis are the newest members of the Youth Alive family. They have decided that they are going to commit themselves to becoming full-time Youth Alive missionaries for the state of Illinois. And I can't tell you just how excited that makes me. Can you guys talk a little bit about that? What is Youth Alive, and why are you guys so passionate about it?
Well, Youth Alive is the initiative launched by the Assemblies of God several years ago to reach arguably the greatest mission field on the face of the planet, which is the public schools. Youth Alive presents an incredible opportunity for us to partner with churches, to help churches build a bridge with their local schools, but most importantly, to mobilize the church that is in the schools to be the church within the schools, and to reach their campus for Christ. And so I think that the church is so good about selling students on the idea that God has a mission and purpose for their life, but I think that we've really dropped the ball in giving them an outlet to exercise that purpose that God has for their lives. And so we really want to connect students with the Great Commission to reach their campus, reach their classmates. we're pumped.
Yeah, I think we're all pumped right now because, one, our youth pastors know you. They know both of you. They have relationship with you guys. They trust you guys, and they know exactly the heart and the commitment that you bring to the table. And not only that, but students throughout Illinois know you guys. They know your faces. They know how much you love them and how committed you are to them as well. And as a youth pastor, I know that one of the biggest roadblocks that I always tried to knock down in my youth ministry is getting my students to stop giving me all of the responsibility to reach the community. I wanted my students to share in that responsibility. I wanted my students to own their youth ministry, because it's really weird, right, for the youth pastor to like drive up to the school in the minivan and start telling people about Jesus. Yeah. Like, we're getting kicked out of the school. We're being asked to leave. That's super creepy. But these students, they can walk into the school and they can be the campus missionary. Like, we talk so much about speed the light, and that is a powerful thing, but our students need to recognize that they have to be a light as well. And they have to tell their friends that are right there in that greatest mission field, the public school, about Jesus. And I'm just so excited that you guys are committed to empowering those students, to empowering the church that exists in the local school. Like, so Katie, what are your like biggest prayer requests moving forward in this next season?
Well, I'm still working full-time right now, so just for the funds to come in sooner than later so we can really hit the ground running. That's the most, I guess that's the basic part of starting this whole thing.
Yeah.
So that foundation has to be laid, but honestly, it's just so exciting to be a part of this. I work well with my husband, and so it's just a dream come true. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that as we pursue this thing, Katie's credentialed minister, so her and I are going to be doing this together as co-missionaries in this role. And so I'm pumped to have her by my side. We're going to be doing this thing together as a team. So she will be very involved.
I've always wanted to work full-time ministry, and so it's like a dream come true. It's God's calling that's realized now. So.
That's so cool. I love that, man. And just to know that Billy and Katie, I mean, you guys are like a dynamic duo of like youth ministry. I've always looked up to you guys. I think you do just an absolutely incredible job. And I know that all of your students in the Quad Cities would probably get on the comment thread right now and be like, oh my gosh, they are the most amazing people on the planet. Here's what you need to know, students and pastors. And I'm just going to go ahead and rip off the Band-Aid, because I know how awkward it can be sometimes for a missionary to be like, we need you to partner with us, right? So Billy and Katie are becoming full-time missionaries, Youth Alive missionaries to the state of Illinois, which means like they're not getting a paycheck. They 100% are going to depend on the support of churches and students and people like you. So if you feel like you would like to support them individually, if you want to give them a one-time gift, or if you want to say, you know what, I'm going to commit to them monthly, the faster we get their budget raised, the faster they will be able to commit themselves full-time to you guys and to your schools and to being with you and partnering with you to reach your campuses. Students, I don't know about you, but I don't think we have a lot of time to wait. Like we have to have a sense of urgency for the young men and young women that we are walking in the halls of our schools with every single day. And I know maybe you're not thinking about them as much right now because you're not in school, you're under quarantine. But when you go back to school in the fall, you are going to be surrounded with people who are lost and who are hurting and who need to find the hope that can only be found in Jesus Christ. And the faster we can get Billy and Katie committed to you, the faster we can raise that money, We are literally unleashing a ministry team that is going to be committed to bringing as many of your friends to heaven with you as possible. So can you get behind them? Can you commit to them? Churches, pastors, can you please book them for a Sunday morning and get your people to generously give? They have made a step of faith in one of the most economically uncertain seasons ever. And I just appreciate that so much about them. Let's honor that faith by getting them rolling. Guys, we love you so much. Is there anything else that you would like to say before we sign off from this interview today?
Hey, we're just excited to serve the state of Illinois, the churches, youth ministries, and students across the state. And we're passionate about helping people fulfill the Great Commission. We were all made on purpose and for a purpose. And ultimately, that's to know God and to make him known to the world, a hurting and broken world that's around us. And so we are pumped. We're excited. So we're honored.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, who's going to be the first youth ministry and who's going to be the first church on a Sunday morning to have Billy and Katy Willis in? First one gets massive, massive prizes from the ISM office. I will shower you with
Big
good
camp
news. Have them in.
Big camp points.
Yeah, literally. Hey, yeah, first youth group to have Billy and Katy in, I will give you camp points. You will be drowning in camp points.
What are we doing?
I don't know. You know what we're doing? We are bribing for the cause of Christ. Is that?
I don't think that's biblical, but yeah.
Oh Lord, will you allow us in this moment? So guys, we love you so much. Thank you so much for being a part of the ISM show. And I cannot wait to work with you guys and to see what God is going to be doing through your ministry, especially for the students of Illinois in Youth Alive. Students, you finally have a missionary dedicated to helping you reach your schools. How amazing is that? All right, we love you guys. Thanks for being on the ISM show. That was a great interview with Billy and Katy Willis. Billy, Katy, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to come in and do that interview. I'm really excited about what God has for Illinois through Youth Alive. What about you guys? That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm excited too. And I personally think Billy has the best beard in the state.
Top three.
Top three?
Top three for sure.
Mm-hmm. Better than Jake Weisman, of course.
Yeah, well, Jake shaved his beard recently,
exactly.
didn't he?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, so that's why he's no longer going to be a camp champion anymore. It's kind of like the Samson effect. His anointing is gone.
Completely gone. So, Jake, you better pray up.
Yeah, well, you better just grow your beard back, man.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely key. But, hey, at the end of every single one of our ISM shows, we like to just play a game just for fun, just to kind of end things on kind of a fun and silly note. And this week, we are going to be playing some egg roulette. And, man, what we're going to do right now is we're going to cue the music. Buddy, bring in the eggs. Everybody, let's give it up for Buddy Barrel.
Yeah.
Come on. Woo! Love us some Buddy Barrel. Best intern
buddy.
that there is.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Wow.
That's awesome. And, Buddy, it looks like you have brought the eggs with you. So we want to explain the premise of this game. Essentially, how this works is you have to pick an egg, and then you have to, whatever egg you pick, you have to smash it on your head. Some of the eggs are hard-boiled. Some of them are not cooked. So that's the point of the game. The first of us to find 2 uncooked eggs is the loser. Is the loser for sure. The loser. So we've got 12 eggs. 4 of them are uncooked.
Okay.
All right?
That's good.
You're up first.
You're going right now?
We're going right now. Now, here's the thing. The second you touch an egg, you have to take that egg.
Okay.
You can't say, no, not that one. Hold on, guys. I got us some stuff to wear over our clothes.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, I've got a poncho for me. Got a poncho for you, Josh. And Cole, we got a Walmart bag. So, here you go.
Having trouble there? Can't throw it?
Oh no, it's so light and dainty.
How am I gonna wear this?
Just
Tell me how am I gonna wear this?
put it over your head.
Okay.
Look at us.
Hey, we're in Ponchos. Yeah. And with movie magic, we were able to do it in 5 seconds.
Like that. All right.
Wow. That's amazing, everybody.
All right. First egg.
First egg. You have got to take the first egg that you touch. Here we go. Are you nervous right now?
A little bit, because I have a bad feeling every single one of those eggs.
Hey, technically, though, you have the best chance at getting a hard-boiled egg.
No, we're all doing this. So if
I know
all of the eggs were uncooked, we would be paying for it too. We're all doing this, Cole. This isn't. Right. Why? Okay, first of all, why are you acting like we're trying to get you?
You know what? I honestly don't know. Last week, it was fair.
It was.
The game was 100% fair, unbiased.
Thank you.
I don't know why I'm complaining.
I don't either.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right,
Okay.
Here we go.
Pick the egg.
All right.
I'm literally in suspense for you. Are you praying?
Guide
you.
My hands are sweating for you right now.
This one?
Okay, that's the one you touch. How does it feel?
Just go for it. Just go for it. You got it.
Yeah, just go. Just go. Just go. Oh no!
That's right.
Oh man. Okay. Okay, just put it right there. All right.
That was fun.
That smells really bad. All right, here we go.
Come on, Josh. Oh, wait, no, not too hard, not too hard, not too hard.
Oh no! Are you kidding me? Oh! All right, that means it's my turn. That means it's my turn.
So bad. It smells so bad.
It does smell very eggy.
You got to go for it.
You gotta go. Come on, Chris. Oh no!
A few moments later.
How's that one feel? Oh no! That's it. You're
Bye.
done.
Bye, Josh.
You're done, and he knows it. Hold on.
Hang on, let me stand up. Hang on, I gotta stand up.
Oh!
What is?
Oh, no way. And if you guys get another egg, you lose, but I have 2 to go. But there's 4 eggs.
Oh no!
Yes! No! No, he was safe! He was safe! I've already won the game. Why would I ever do something like that? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, these guys, they're fighting, and we're gonna have to go ahead and call that a wrap. Hey everybody, that egg roulette was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun on the ISM Show, week 2. We got to talk with Kaitlyn Haffener about publishing her faith, and we got to talk with Billy and Katy Willis about Youth Alive. But really, the one thing that I wanted you guys to remember is that camp is absolutely not, under any circumstances, rigged. Thanks so much, Jake. Really appreciate that. You know, we put a lot of time and effort into making sure that camp is as fair as possible to every single student from Illinois Student Ministries that comes on board. And I want you guys to know from the very bottom of my heart that integrity and character and how we establish a camp champion every single year is the most important thing that we can do. I want you guys to know that we take it seriously. We take your trust seriously. So I want you to look at me right in the eyes. Camp absolutely isn't rigged. Hey, thanks again, Jake. Did Billy get his too? All right. Anyways, guys, we'll see you next week. And as always, we love you.